Okay, so we're going to start off again. We're going to see some repetition with regards our words and stuff at the beginning of class. So sweenig is to think. So if you can think to yourself any other words that begin with think. So there's two more. So we have kya and we have seal. Okay, to think. And then similar to that, then we have saulig, which is to imagine. All right. So like another way you could see that would be bawahlam a howlu. So a howlu. So I would like to imagine. Okay, I would like to imagine. So that's how you would see it in, I suppose, in inverted form. And then we have Kjartik, which is to correct, okay? And I think that would be like a really good one, for example, Rilaka Naskulya, which we're going to have a look at today. So like Kjartik Namunturi Nadalti. So the teachers corrected the students. So Kjartik Namunturi Nadalti. Okay. Now the Shanukal an tachtan seo tá sé sais difriúil. It's never like I haven't showed it to you before. But I think like with regards to Shapik or even just a topic that you'd be talking about in life, it's a great one to use and it's not a common one. So it's at neither para I gruaton. So at neither para I gruaton, and it means it is in hardship that a friend is recognized. Okay, and then the Nahanakanta is Maralui me Hannah. Okay, and I think I have one too many N's there. Maralui me Hannah, as I mentioned already. Okay, another way of saying that is Maris Olditch, which I'm pretty sure I've shown you before, but I'll just write it in. Maris Olditch. As you know, okay, as you know. But Marlui Mehana is, as I mentioned already. So just quick check-in. How did we get on this week? How did we find the oral work? I know, like, Ní raibh sé Dakar. Well, I didn't think it was hard. Now I'm trying to ease you back in. But yeah, so how did we get on this week? And I suppose how's your studying looking? Like, what are we spending time at? So just while you're filling those in, obviously to say, so we have two, again, I'm going to fill out the study plan. To be honest with you guys, I'm just chasing my tail. Yeah, like I need to quit my full-time job, but my husband actually won't let me. So someone could talk to him. That'd be great. I'm just trying to keep up with everything. So I'm not filling out certain things. But just to let you know, I have Lorena's booked in for the 13th, okay? So she said she'll probably need 20 minutes per student. So for the four of you that booked in that middle slot, obviously one of you is just going to go over the hour, so I hope that's okay. So like, say the last person will probably be going in at, say, like 10 to 6, but they won't be finished till 10 past 6 or 10 past 7 or whatever. So hopefully that's okay. And again, if there's any issues, like I'm sure people won't mind swapping or whatever. And we have a lot of time anyway. She's going to stay on from 5 till 8, so she has a lot of time anyway. And I'll be setting up the links and everything for that. And then I have written in here that we're going to do the mock oral with me on the 10th of February. Now, what I would ask, and you can write it in the box, okay, if you want, do you want to bring that mock oral with me forward a bit closer to March? And again, as always, what we could do as well, I was just thinking, we could give up a Monday. I suppose coming up near to the oral time, we could give up one of the Mondays to do an oral again. But if you would rather bring that 10th of February, if you'd rather bring that closer, is what I'm saying, to like, if you wanted to bring it to the 24th. Why do I feel like I have something on that day? Oh no, I have something on that night, but I can do that day. So like if you want to bring it closer. So just you let me know, okay? Do you want to leave it at the 10th? Oh, look, I'll probably just put up a poll, will I? It's probably the easiest. But yeah, just let me know if, and or again, if you're like, Danielle, can we do two? Like that's obviously fine as well. You know, I am here for you. That is my job. Okay, Ian talk. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, like neither with regards to 5 and 8, you're not shooting the essay. I just have this feeling. And now again, I could be completely wrong, but I think it's definitely one to learn for sure. I know it can be a little bit wordy, but hopefully you're getting on all right with it. Great. Okay, so we've had a good week studying. Okay, good. Yeah, I'm really, to be honest with you, I'm really happy with your oral work so far. So again, I think you know, remember guys, like that's where we're going to get a lot of our marks. But obviously it's not to neglect the paper, and I know I'm in full on oral mode as well, and I keep neglect, to be honest with you, like mocks. I could take or leave mocks, like but we will do a mock as well. I'm just going to give you, obviously, you know, like a lot of them are doing the mocks now, say end of January, start of Feb. I'm going to give you a little bit more time before I give you a full on mock. Just again to find your feet, get back into the routine of work, because I know myself, I'm all over the shop. So you know, I'm going to give you a few more weeks, so I'll probably do the oral. I'm just trying to think, or the mock paper. Now, what we could do is, and again, I'm thinking out loud here, I'm going to make notes about making these polls. We could leave the mock paper till after your real oral. So for example, you could do it over Easter. Okay, you could do the mock over Easter. And now I'm away for Easter, I'm on my honeymoon. So, but when I come back, then I could correct it that following weekend. So, because I'm not back until like the Sunday, and then I'm back to work the Monday. That was great planning by me. So, but it would give you time then, rather than me saying, okay, you need to get this done like this week. Where at least if I released it at the beginning of Easter, you'd have 2 weeks to get it done. The only thing I would say is no more than the Christmas test if you need to time yourself. But I'll give you the times and everything. I think, does that suit people? Again, it's totally optional. So mock paper, Easter halls. Okay. Right, do you know what? I can be making all these notes while I'm setting you to work. So, Achorza, right. First of all, I'm glad to hear you all are getting on well. It's, you see, and it all can be a little bit disarray, but everything starts to come together in the end. And like, you know, in my job, like I meet students and they're all over the shop, literally until after the mocks. They're like, they know a bit of this and they know a bit of that, and their mocks don't go the way they want, and they're a little bit all over the shop. And then they just funnel, and it's like they just get the shit done and everything comes together. But what I think, what other well, obviously companies who do what I do, I think they have so many students on their books, students who struggle fall through the cracks, and they miss a mock oral, they miss a mock paper, they don't care. Like, you've paid for the course, they don't care. So because I worked with a girl one-on-one, but she was doing her Irish with another company. I was just helping her with her oral work, but I could see like I knew she wasn't going to get paid for. But I think she had no support. She attended the classes. There was no support. So, and unfortunately she was a repeat. So I think just to be aware of that, like there is repeats out there who repeat and they get a H5. Yeah. I really don't think in my heart of hearts it's in this group. But it can happen, but yous are playing a blinder at the minute. So we just got to keep going. Okay, I'm going to shut up now and actually teach you something. So, Kulskara, I'm going to do the exact same as I did last week. Okay, I'm going to read through it, make a few pointers, and then I want you to send it to me as part of your homework. Okay, so to run in your booklet, I have the poet right beside the name of the poem. I just don't have it here today, so apologies. So Cul Scara le Podric Mock Sivna. Hantig sé ban Inyad Akina. Okay, very important to just note Hantig. Nilen Esan. Hantig sé ban Inyad Akina. Huishuv is gan lac a hina. So no T. Atchis is gran I dógáil cluna. Hantig sí fear is taobh den bhríste. Deaden is shark. Is la den quichte. So like quiche. Quichte. Sira haar lar is mas na mílta. Hongus réiteach scaradar. Okay, I'll just say those last two again. They could be a little bit tricky. Hongus réiteach scaradar. Okay, right. We're going to get straight into it. So, Maciantar gachdina, right? Another very popular topic. So again, similar to last week, I want you to scríobh gach rud faoi the canter. The only one you may struggle with is this one here. An bhfuil aon fadhbanna sosialta I the canter. Okay? Is there any social problems in your area? Now that can be like bruscar, right? Like rubbish. Okay? You are totally free to say níl aon fadhbanna meántar or níl aon fadhbanna sosialta meántar mar tá meántar beag agus ciúin agus sa bhfáilsa. Okay? They may or may not ask you, but I mean it's worth it can be a question that they can ask. Okay? So away you go, and as you're writing that, I will be making my notes of what polls and stuff to put in, and then I'll give you a Cúpla nóméid. I'm going to put a timer on so I don't get distracted. And then I'm going to have a look. So mock paper, Easter halls, and mock oral. Actually, guys, I'm just thinking I'm going to get you to pick between February 10th and February 24th, because then you'll have one with Lorraine on the 13th of March, and then I'll do another one with you then before the real thing. Okay, so like even if it's say the weekend before the orals, right? Or even if some of you are on the Monday or that, I don't fly until the Monday, so I could do even some on the Saturday. So yeah, I'm going to get you to pick one of those dates, then you'll do one with Lorraine, and then you'll do another one with me before you do the real thing. Okay, because like you'll be doing so much work for me through voice note anyway. We're going over and back, it's the same thing. So Lorraine. Okay, in March. Right, let me. Okay, what now? Some examiners ask this. So when you've stopped writing, Or try add it in. What if I said to you, cén size tí atá agat? What type of house do you have? Cóhfuil de cheach sitsa? Cé bhéid seomra? And they might be asking you this because they want to make it easier for you. Like, cé bhéid seomra I de cheach, nóra di mar sin. Yeah, come on. So what I'm noticing straight away, like when you're talking about areas, right? Och. Sorry, I'm gonna try to write this in Zoom chat. Och is feminine, so it's followed by E. But the likes of Strods, Valja, or Balja is masculine, so it's A. Just so you know the difference between the two of them. Well done. Megan M, very good. So yeah, it's us, Jas, E, Megan, yeah. Come on. You know, like you just need to realize like there'll be so many students in your school. Oh my God, if some of you weren't doing it in my school, Christ above, who will go in there and they're gonna say like the bare minimum. And then you are gonna come in and you're gonna be like, I'm blah 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 blah. And they're gonna be like, oh my God, this adult who has like a full-time job and a life, you know, and kids or you know, whatever. And they're going to be like, tick, 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 tick. Points, 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 marks, marks, marks. Because I know that's what I'd be like. I'd be like, oh my God. Yeah. Oh, it's going to be class. I wish I could be a fly on the wall. One of my students a few years ago was going to bring in like a dictaphone in her bag. And because you're not meant to record, like it's highly illegal. And record it. Because she wanted me like to give her like an idea of how she got on. She didn't go through with it though, unfortunately. But she got a H3 in the end, so she's all right. And she hadn't studied Irish in 15 years. So and she only started in the January, so you guys will be fine. All really good. Like I can't spot any mistakes. What about Fibana Socialta? Yeah, Megan, you're right there. Is Cantor. Cantor's also A. I should have said that. Yeah, so is Cantor Q and August Jas A. No. Yeah, so just Megan B, when you're saying Tome Mahoney Sniglenti E Gunde, okay, just from a pronunciation point of view. Is the Cantor Bolya Biog to A, yeah. Megan B, if I said to you now, if I was the examiner and I said to you, on Willalone Ryerkana Sniglenties, how would you respond to that?
I don't know. Is that views? Or
Yeah, like view sites. Because obviously I know the Glenties, but like, is it famous for, I'm just trying to think, like, is it famous for something? Is there like beaches or
yeah, there's Narn. Narn's beside it. That's quite well
so
known.
Okay, so like maybe, I'm just thinking if you have an examiner, they love talking about like,
Yeah.
especially if you're from an area that's quite well, that's quite like Sherlock Donegal's beautiful anyway. But you could say maybe, oh, Tugalore Ryer kind on Cosú le Sléibh agus, there's obviously Errigal is more Donegal town, would it be?
No, it's more Gweedore, like past Gweedore and
Okay.
Van Heath
So how
actually.
far are you from Gweedore?
I have like 40 minutes.
Okay, so maybe even something that like that might come up. Like even if you just want to make a note of it for yourself, like hug to Court, Guidor, Riv, obviously like because Tushy can't or Gael that. So
Yeah.
just something like that, just to make note of it. And
Yeah.
again, you don't need to have loads to say, but just bits and bobs. But I suppose, guys, that goes for anyone, like even Megan M, like you're in Wicklow again, a lot of Sléibhtha, Loch Baser. Is there lakes? I'm not sure. I am so bad at geography, so no one come for me. Nigel, same with you. Gallev, Gaeltacht, Connemara. Okay. I have heard of Ardrahan, but couldn't tell you now what's in it, but I have heard of it. Well, actually, I think you're telling me down here, aren't you? Yeah, that's all Farfa. Hanging around the playground. Yeah. Iontuch. Yeah, perfect. Yeah. So you seem fine. So the people who are writing about the house, you seem fine. Like again, I know it sounds like really simple, but it's those little things that can catch people. Oh, sorry, I'm just reading here. Good, Megan W. Yeah, you have all so again, you live in a touristic area. Good use of Adiach Shalvak. Okay, come on. Iontuch. Okay, yeah, well, I suppose it's Canter Kalashta A. Yeah, so you live in kind of a university area, I suppose. Well, may fancy of, well, if I lived in Malya Schliggy in Sligo town. And that comes with its own issues, absolutely. Okay, Iontuch. Yeah, I need to give you harder topics. You're all like acing it. Throne. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, Megan B, that's good. Really good. Megan W, that's really good as well, what you have. Brilliant. And the beauty of the leave insert in comparison to the Hibernia is they will let you talk for majority of that. Like they might stop you here and there, but they are going to let you get out majority of it. Okay. So yeah, really, really good. So right, where am I off to now? Okay, so we're gonna try this Shrap Pictornish. Okay. Now I'm not gonna do all of it. I'm just going to do the first two pictures and then the last, or then I'm going to get you to do Keshtana and kind of similar to last week because I want to go on and I want to look at Gotha. And then if I have time at the end, I'll come back. But if not, you can send me the voice note of it. If you have time. And like I said, if you want to send me with you saying it like from the script, I've no issue with that. If you're like, I just want to check my pronunciations, or again, if you want to go for it and do it without a script and just looking at the pictures, definitely do that too. Okay, so if you move down now, we're going to look at Rila Kinaskulya, and I want you to do the first two pictures. Now, normally I've given students like, do 4 and 4, But a H1 student should write between 6 and 7 sentences per picture. So this being picture one, and these two, which are split in half, is actually picture two. Okay, some people count it like 1, 2, 3. No, it's 1 and 2. It's just split. So I want you to try and write as much as you can for each picture. Okay, because we're only going to do the two of them now this evening. Now, these were slightly harder, okay, than last week, not as self-explanatory, okay? So we do need to think a little bit more about it this evening.
Danielle,
Yes,
see these straw picture. I've kind of just already learned them as your notes. So
okay. So you're just gonna like, so when you're writing them, no, Nigel, are you writing them from your head?
no, like but like ish. I
Okay,
don't want
so
to come up with new ones, if that makes sense.
oh, as in, wait, say that to me. So this one isn't in the 10 that you've learned, is it? Is that what you're saying to me?
I've already like learned off your notes, but I just don't want to rewrite. Can I just rewrite your notes? Is that okay?
Yeah, are they? But you're writing them from your head, like you're not writing them from a sheet, like you're not like literally copy and pasting from a sheet.
No, we're writing it from my head, yeah.
Oh, if you're writing it from your head, absolutely. So I can see that it's correct. Yeah, go for it. Like, don't worry about spelling though. Ma? Sorry, I'll leave it up here just for a moment in case anyone isn't actually in the. Just leave it up here for 2 minutes. People can look at it. And then I'll have to go down to check people's. Okay, I'm gonna move it down about 30 seconds. Okay. Just when you're using date, remember the révocal le has to go with it. So like date nadalti leis on moon tour. So like they listened to the teacher or whatever. Very good. Puck. Like straight away, like all the different verbs are popping out at me. Nice, simple, clear, concise sentences. No worries, Sarah, I'm having a look at yours there now. And as always, I've recorded this so you can always look back. Don't worry, I lived in a house for 6 years with Dodge internet. I know the struggle. Do laugh now thinking if I could trying to do this in my old house. Oh no. Impossible. Okay, I'm going to give you 2 more minutes on that. But from what I can see so far, like, remember, with the Shra, you have free reign. They're not going to stop you until you say, Shine, tome dainta. Yeah, that's it, I'm done. They'll get it anyway, because you'll now finish it off with probably a shanuckle or, Níon Fishy Dermadon Lotion Godot. So, like, just go hell for leather at it. Say as much as you can, yeah, because it's gonna now look, it's the second highest section of the oral, so it's 80 marks. So yeah, obviously the 120 is the choral, but where it's a little bit more tricky because you don't know exactly what they're going to say. Where the Shra, it's like whatever one you get, and if you've it learned, away you go. So Oh, Michelle, sorry about that. I mean, no be bore halfway, but I know it is so annoying. So annoying. Come on, well done, Megan W. Very good. Guys, what you have here is excellent. So 20 seconds left, so I'm going to move on. I am very looking forward though to these mock orals. I can't wait to get stuck into them. Oh, I just can't wait. And to be able to give you like full on feedback about the whole thing. It's going to be amazing. Can't wait. So excited. Okay, right. Now I'm going to do something a little bit different. Okay. So I am going to, well, I want you to ask me 3 questions, but before we do that, I actually don't even think I need to because you were so good at it last week. I'm going to actually say 3 questions that occur a riv. So 3 questions that I want to put to you, okay? So I'm now going to ask you 3 questions, and in Zoom chat or in the box, okay, I want you to answer them, okay? So hopefully now you'll get to, you can see it. So I'm going to, right. So, ceis sé hain, cad é dhearna na buachaillí sa dara fictor sa dara lá. So cad a dhearna na buachaillí sa dara fictor sa dara lá. Okay? So seo é ceiste héan. Ceiste dó, tá meid boga híos go dtí pictiúir sé. Cén tá mé I pictiúir sé? Cén tá mé I pictiúir a sé? Ceiste dó. Cén tá mé I pictiúir sé? Agus ceiste cuaig. Or ceiste trí, sorry. So, ceiste trí. Cá rá na daoine, I was about to say the answer there. Cá rá na daoine I pictiúir a cuaig. Cá rá na daoine I pictiúir a cuaig. Oh, sorry, I need to change the last question. Cá rá na daoine ag fannacht I pictiúir a cuaig. Sorry. Cá rá na daoine ag fannacht I pictiúir a cuaig. Cá rá na daoine ag fannacht. Well done. Well done. Oh, I'm like I'm a proud moon tour here. Because you know why? I did that literally an hour ago with 6 sixth-year girls, and they all said bhí siad sniffing on free pizza. Now, they still answered the question, and I suppose it's not wrong, but I said, where were they waiting? Corraishi deg fannacht. Well, the second time when I actually got it right. Yeah. Oh, you're just so good. Like, so what I'm trying to say is 6 sixth-year girls got that wrong. Now, look, we have to give them a bit of slack, like they do study 6 other subjects, but I'm just saying to you, like, you know, you're well able, like you are well able to do this. And then I have people who are like going back studying Teg B2. I'm like, are yous well? She'd ficu, she'd fannic and accolation. Perfect, Sarah. Bhí siad fannig an act leis an ifig on previd say beside the principal's office. Perfect. That's also a correct answer. Yeah, if you have any friends in the future who are considering doing TEG B2 because they don't want to go back and sit the Leaving Cert, tell them you'd want to be out of your mind stupid to go back and do TEG B2. I am just about qualified to sit TEG B2, yeah? So, and you have these people who haven't done Irish in years and they're like, yeah, I think I'm going to do TEG B2. I'm so scared from the Leaving Cert. I'm like, so if you know anyone, tell them just go back and repeat the Leaving Cert. It's not that hard. Okay, I'm so happy with that. Like, yous are going to ace this oral. Oh, buzzing. Okay, so happy. Good. Blue Monday, who? Right. Last thing that you are going to like, this is the first thing you're going to be introduced to with me for this course for 2024, okay? The Litríocht Bhreise. So, do I have my papers? Oh, I bet you they're at school. Yeah, no, they're not here. So, if you go to paper 2, if you have your papers beside you, just going to double check that you don't have them here. No. No, nowhere to be found. I must be at school. So it's in paper 2. It's the last section of paper 2. So you have in paper 2, your 2 reading comprehensions, your filiocht and your prose, and then you have the Litríocht Bhreise. Now, so the Litríocht Bhreise question is worth 40 marks. So it's 10 marks more than your poetry and your prose, okay? The piece of literature we're going to study is called Gotha, okay? And it appears in question 4D every year on the paper. So this is kind of like what it looks like now. At the top, it'll say Litríocht Bhreise, right? And it'll give loads of different options, okay? One of the options is a extra poem that some schools do. So yours, as you can see here, is 4D, Gotha. Okay, so you just ignore the rest of it and you just focus on whatever question comes up here. So the question will be directly about the piece, okay? So for example, 2023, this is what came up in 2023, and it was like, Etna, the mother, gets little relief from the time she comes across the instruments under her son's own bed in the extract of the novel Gotha. So Gotha is a full-on novel. And I used to have the English, it's a really good story actually. And I used to have the English translation of it, I just can't find it. But I'd say if you Googled Gotha English translation, you might get the PDF of it, where you could read it in English. Now, I have translated the summary of chapters 1 to 8. I can't remember if I don't know if I've uploaded it to your thing yet, but I will do. It's on my it's on my school laptop, so I need to do, I'll transfer it over. But okay, so Gotha, why do I pick Gotha and why don't I do An Triail? Every school in the country nearly does An Triail, and if they don't do An Triail, they do a Hicknot Teacher. So say in my school, the other two, well, one class is doing An Triail, one class doing a Hicknot Teacher, and my class then is doing Gotha. So I do something completely different to the other Irish teachers. I decided to do Gotha like maybe 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah, whenever I took over higher level in my school. And I just really liked the story and I felt like it was relevant and I felt like students would be able to remember it. So I mean, it's a beautiful story as always. It's all about death and depression, like everything else in Gaeilge. But it's one they find really easily to remember. So 3 main characters. 3 main characters, Owen, Etna, and Brendan. Okay, so Owen is the son, Etna is the mother, and Brendan is the dad. The questions will always be about these 3 people. Always, always, always. Okay, it'll either focus more on Etna, it'll either focus more on Owen, or it'll be about like the relationship between Owen and his parents, or the relationship between Etna and Brendan. Okay, I know that probably sounds like a lot, but realistically, like when you see the sample answer and you see the questions, the like the conflict is all about the same thing, which is about their son being an addict. So here's what it is in summary, right? Now I have gone into detail like in all the different chapters, which I will upload after the lesson if I haven't uploaded it already. So Owen's a drug addict, he's 18, he's still in school, and his mother Etna is in denial about this, right? So the beginning of the story is all about where she finds the instruments under his bed. So, and it goes into the detail, right? And you learn all this. So it's like the white powder, the needle, the blah, 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 blah. Okay. That's the first key moment. And it will be in every, like you will write a sample answer. That will always be in, like, it's the first thing you're always going to talk about, because that's where the conflict starts. Okay. So Brendan, so that's one side. The other side of the story is Brendan is having an affair with a member of staff in his school. Okay. And Owen knows about it. So you'll see, I think it's at like chapter maybe 3, that Owen walks into a bar, and at the other end of the bar is his dad with, it's a girl called Amy, and I think she's the school secretary, right? Kissing at the other end of the bar. So all of a sudden he now knows this secret, and Brendan is paying Owen to keep quiet. And therefore this is actually feeding his drug habit. Okay, so this is paying for his drugs. And Brendan lets Owen's bad behavior slide because of all the secrets, but Etna is the one who suffers. So like Etna's up all night waiting for him to come home. He comes home, he's out of it, but his father is like covering for him. All this kind of stuff. And it comes to a head, I think, is at chapter 7, where basically Brendan goes into the room to Owen and he's injecting himself with heroin, and Owen is like, what you're paying me a week is actually not enough to feed my habit, so I'm going to have to up it. Like, it's in punts, like this is how long ago this was written, but we think Ray Oliash, he's a brilliant writer, he was very he's very with the times now, so he was like, I'm going to have to up your pay, etc., or up your payment or whatever. So Brendan is buying his silence. And in chapter 8, Etna smells a rat that she knows that so Brendan is like, oh, I'm going out for drinks with my colleagues. Brendan is also a teacher, not in Owen's school, in another school. So Brendan's like, oh, I'm going out for drinks with, is it Joe, I think, who works with him. And anyways, she ends up ringing Joe to see where he is, and he's like, no, he's not with me, I wasn't out with him. But then when Brendan comes home the next day, he doesn't come home. So when he comes home the next day, he's like, oh yeah, I had a great night out with Joe. So Etna's like, anyways, it all comes to a head then. But you only have to learn as far as there. There's like 20 something chapters in it. We only have to learn the first 8. I think it's a great story. But this is what I want to talk to you about, right? In your exam answer, you must refer to the question and provide key moments whereby you address the question, okay? In the sample answer I'm giving you, I picked the most common key moments that fit into nearly every exam question that has come up on GAFA. Now, what I will say is, I was looking at this at the weekend at my GAFA sample answer that I have actually given to people for the past, well, since 2021. So the past 2 or 3 years, but I'm looking at it now and I'm like, I could improve that. I could write something better than what I've written. I've put it up there for you. If I need to just double check that I have, but I will do it tonight, I promise. So I'm actually going to talk to you what I want you to do for your homework. Because I feel like I could write something a little bit better, but obviously I'm not going to be able to write it tonight. But like, say the first half of it and the last paragraph of it, you could definitely use in every essay, but I just feel maybe the middle part I could make a little bit better. But the thing I wrote at the weekend, which is all the summary in Irish and then all the summaries in English, you could use that in your answer. So like you have the autonomy now. You don't have to just learn what I give you. You could make your own sample answer and then learn that. Now, what I want to show you is the last 3 years of GAFA. So just to reiterate, 2023 was Etna gets little relief from the time she comes across the instruments under her son's bed in the extract of the novel GAFA. That was 2023. 2022 was Brendan and Owen are self-centered and selfish in the extract of the novel GAFA, and Etna is the main one who suffers because of this. Okay. 2021. Etna, the life of the mother Etna is in disarray as she is dealing with her addict son Owen and the lack of support her husband Brendan gives in the extract of the novel GAFA. You're always going to have in the extract of the novel. Okay, can you see the pattern? 2020. It's clear that Brendan doesn't have a lot of interest in his son's hardship or the future of his marriage with Etna in the extract of the novel GAFA. You're dancing around key moments all the time. The beauty also of GAFA is so many teachers don't study it. So therefore they don't know the story. So what they'll do is they'll go on to the marking scheme and they'll look at, so basically what the marking scheme will give them is all these examples of what the student could say. The first example is going to be what Etna finds under his bed, because that's when all shit hits the fan, okay? They're going to look, because I'm an examiner myself, I know how we work. They're going to see the first example and they're like, yeah, they have that. And straight away, they're going to be like, boom, and then they're going to see another one and they're going to be like, yeah, they have that as well. Boom, 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 boom. You're going to get like at least 30 out of 40, okay? The last person who used my sample answer got 38 out of 40. Now, look, she was quite good at molding it to suit the question, but it works. So now I'm going to actually show you what I have in here, okay? So I would have a new one called Literacht Brescia. And I didn't put it up here yet. Oh yeah, because I was editing it and then I probably forgot to upload it. So what I'm going to have is I will have by, what time is it now? Okay, oh great, I'm doing great time. So by 8:30, you will have a sample answer and the chapter summaries, okay? But for your homework, what I want you to do, okay, is I want you to actually answer the 2020, this exam question, okay? So, Brendan doesn't have a lot of interest in his son's hardship. So obviously it be him being a drug addict, or the future of his marriage with Etna in the extract of the novel GAFA. Okay, and then obviously I just have some oral work down there, and you can add the topic towards that as well if you want. So with regards to sample answer, okay, I am like, you have an opening, you have an ending. Would it be worth me maybe recording myself? I might get a chance to do that tomorrow when I'm home on my break. Recording myself. Like, did you find it helped last week when I just recorded myself? Like, oh, I know I typed out the English of the essay. I might start doing that as well. You know, if I recorded myself, maybe just going over, or would it just be easier if you're like, Danielle, will you just write the English underneath every paragraph? Let me know what suits best.
I think writing the English underneath would be handier just.
Yeah, so